We have a visitor here this morning. The ladybug. She was crawling all around the ship. Very interested in my model. Yes. Oops. Now she's scared. I have to say, here in the woods, sometimes in September we had a ladybug invasion. I mean, outside the house there have been so many of them. There were like perhaps 100 of them on one window only, and all the sides of the house that were having sunlight, they were invaded by these ladybugs, and the invasion lasted for perhaps 4 or 5 days, and after that they calmed down, but some of them entered the house, and they congregated in some corners, or I don't know, in quiet places. And I know from past experience, in for example mid-January, they will start to come back to life inside. After that, of course, they die. And we have plants inside, pots with plants, and they enjoy the soil in the pots and the plants themselves. Well, enough about the ladybug. I don't want to have her disturbed. Let's go back to the model. Now this step 25 very much resembles, actually is a copy-paste of what we did for the forward island or forward bridge. It's the upper bridge, the upper artillery platform around the mast. And we have this being the platform where I will have 4 guns, 4 small guns. The guns are these ones here. They need to be painted, and we have some photo etch that we also installed in the first platform, and then on top we have the roof. Now, of course, this part is to assemble a couple of photo etch vertical stiffeners under this platform, which I decided I will not do it anymore. It gives me nothing in my case. I did it for the first platform, I won't do it for the second one. Yeah, call me lazy, I know, no worries. So this is step 25, and step 26 right after is also copy-paste of the first island, but we have to add this photo etch tower and some stair, whatever is there. So I'm not that worried for now about this one. So I will be focusing on this one. I think the 25 and 26 I could put them together in one single episode, the way I did 23 and 24. I hope so. step 26 is now finished, if only in my mind, and I will explain why. I've installed this platform, the guns, the tower from photo etch here. I didn't film any, I didn't record any of this because it was quite similar to what I did at the midship with the other tower, this one here. Then I prepared this one, but don't let you get be fooled, because this one is not finished. I mean, it's finished, but it's not installed. This is only a dry run, a very dry run, to see if these things match and how they sit on top of each other, and they actually, this part matches very well, and they are at vertical this time, and there is a small platform, this one, exactly what we had here at the first island here. So I will have to install that railing, but I didn't want to install it the way I did it here, because I'm afraid when the big mast is coming on top of this one, is gonna be very difficult to install it there. So I'm gonna wait to make the two masts in step 27, then install it on the small platform, and then everything will be fixed in place. Yeah, so for now it's only a dry run, but I have to say the second island, the Aft Island, went much better than the first one. The first one, my first one, was really my first one. I didn't know so many things, especially about the photo etch, and well, I guess this is how we learn. So now I am prepared to go to step 27, which deals with almost entirely with the mast, the two masts. So I will have the two complete situations. One here at the aft, where I'm gonna install the mast and the platform all together, and then everything will be installed as a sub-assembly on top of this. And the second situation will be here, the forward bridge platform, where I will have to follow the Trumpeter instructions and install everything piece by piece. Yeah. So we'll really have to see how that goes. It's very interesting. But that's for yet another episode. Thank you. Now, we never got to talk about these small guns. I remember when I did the first island, we said something about the fighting tops where these guns were installed, but not much about the guns themselves. They were between the smallest guns on the ship, the 47mm guns, but in artillery terms they were quick firing 3-pounder Hotchkiss guns. And these guns, they came in two variants. The first variant was a multi-barrel one, and this multi-barrel had 5 barrels with a special feeding mechanism, and from what I've learned, the navies didn't like this solution very much, so they play around with the second version, the single barrel, which came in couple of versions also. Not the barrel itself, not the mechanism, but the support. Sometimes they had round mounts, and sometimes they had legged mounts, if I can call them this way. So I found one here that's a 3-pounder Hotchkiss gun installed in South Wales in Australia, and the picture, when I found it, it was dated 24th of January 1942. So these guns were quite long-living ones. First they came around 1895, but 50 years later armies and navies, they were still using them. So this is about Australia. Perhaps it was mounted like this against a potential Japanese invasion, or I don't know. And we have other pictures with round mounts on the ships, but I think one of the most interesting is this one, where the gun is installed inside the ship casemate, and you can see it's articulated at the central point, and it revolves around that point, and it can fire in, of course, in many directions. A very interesting system. Now the Russians produced them with a Obukov factory in St. Petersburg, like 700 of them, and they were quite happy with them until they weren't. Let's see other pictures. This is a very nice model, and this is a finite element model, which shows you even a small weapon like this, a 47, not barely 2 inches, how complicated can it be? And I have a couple of pictures from ships, and you see the personnel was quite, I mean, they were clothed very poorly, and they were barefooted, and this tells you something about the conditions and about the skills maybe of those crews manning the guns. Now these guns were mounted in the upper fighting tops, and they were supposed to protect the battleship and the cruisers against the small craft, against the fast craft, torpedo boats and destroyers. That might have been the case before 1900, say in 1895, 1898, when Tsesarevich itself was built and launched. But by 1904, 1905, the small craft became fast craft. The torpedo boats were very fast, and more important, they had they were able to launch their torpedoes at a longer range, like more than 2000 meters. And these guns, while in their specifications, you can find them on internet having a maximum range of 500 to 6,000, 5,000 to 6,000 meters. In reality, their effective range was around 2,000 meters only. So if the torpedo boat was zigzagging or doing some strange games out at 3,000 meters, the gun was useless. So the range was a problem. The shell itself, you can see the shell The shell was also very small, 47 millimeters. It's 3-pound shell, it's larger than a bullet, but against a torpedo boat, against a destroyer, not much damage. And I also have a suspicion about the quality of the crews manning these guns. I mean, in a battleship you would have the best crews manning the large guns, the heavy guns, and the secondary battery, and those with lesser skills perhaps. I might be wrong, but I feel like for the lesser skills you would place them on top of the mast in the fighting tops, trying to stop the torpedo boats, maybe or maybe not. And yeah, very interesting. So this is about these guns. After the Russo-Japanese wars, they were retreated from all the ships, and they were used in other roles, even in the French ships, or I think some of the British later ships, they used them as anti-aircraft guns at some point or another. An interesting story for these guns, yes.